Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. And in today's video it's a very cold March day. It's the 13th of March today, and well, it's actually this is basically what the video is about, fertiliser. So we had our fertiliser delivery 2 days ago, so I only just got round to filming this because well, I videoed bits of when it come, when we unloaded it. And what I'll do now is, you'll see clips of hopefully us unloading it. Hopefully you've seen them clips now, but what we have here is 28.8 tonnes of fertiliser. So anyone in the farming world knows that is a full load. So this is half of the fertiliser we use in a year. So there's 48 bags in 28.8 tons because the 600 kilo bags each. So 48 times 600 kilos is 28.8 tons, which is a full load. You can't get any more on a load. It's not legal for a lorry to have more weight on than that. So yeah, that's basically what it is. There's a bale up there that I've caught. I'll have to tape up. But in a minute, we're actually very fortunate because we've got plenty of silage left here, plenty of silage down there, and mind the trail full of plastic. Another stack of bales up there. Plastic, we're not burning it. It's going in that skip over there. I've just not put it in yet. Just a disclaimer. Just not put it in yet, that's all. But we're actually very fortunate at the minute, like I was saying, because we've actually got plenty of silage left. So actually, we're not desperate. We're not dire desperate for fertiliser. If we couldn't get it, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But we'll put it on because we don't know what sort of summer we're going to have. We need as much silage as we can get, and if we do have surplus silage, we can just sell some of it. It's not the end of the world. So what's in this fertiliser? So this is ammonium nitrate, as far as I'm aware. So if you say here on the back, nitrogen. On the back there it says 27 nitrogen and 12 sulphur. So you can see that. 12 for sulphur, 27. You can see that. Maybe you can see it clear on that one. So that means it's got 27 units of nitrogen in it per, I think it's per 100 weight, because it's old, it works in old money. So is that, I think that's 27 in every 50 kilos, roughly. I think that's what it means. If someone wants to correct me, they're more than welcome to. But that is straight nitrogen is 34.5% nitrogen. So it's not quite full percentage on nitrogen. That's purely because it's got sulphur in it. So you're asking, well, fertiliser is mainly nitrogen, unless you have a compound, which is your P2O5, K2O5, K2O rather. So P and K, so that's your potassium, your phosphate rather. We haven't got any of that in, purely because we're a dairy farm. We've got a lot of livestock, they produce a lot of muck. Hopefully our ground, we haven't yet had the soil analysis back, so we don't actually know yet. Hopefully our ground should, in theory, it should have enough P and K in it, because muck is high in P and K and low in nitrogen. But why are you asking, why is sulphur in it? Well, sulphur is something they've only been putting in fertiliser, I think, well, putting it in like mass production sort of thing in the last few years, really. Well, let's say few years. If you go back 50 years, they probably weren't putting sulphur in fertiliser like they are now. That's purely because the atmosphere has got less sulphur in it, because we've got cleaner air. All these coal-fired power stations and whatever aren't about anymore. And when they burn coal, it gives off sulphur into the atmosphere, and that sulphur supposedly comes on, like when you get cold rain and whatever, cold weather, it falls down onto the farmland, theoretically, and falls onto the soil, and the soil should have enough sulphur in it. But there's no coal-fired power stations anymore, so I think, you know, if someone wants to correct me, this is all my own thing, you know, what I've been told over the years, that's why they put sulphur in. And sulphur helps the plant take the nutrients up. Nitrogen forces it to grow. P and K are like for your root and photosynthesis, for root growth and photosynthesis. Well, it's ammonium nitrate. So there is obviously different types of fertiliser out there. We have ammonium nitrate. There is urea fertiliser, which is in two forms, unprotected and protected. Unprotected urea is being banned, as far as I'm aware, from the 1st of April, I think. So in actually a few weeks, you won't be able to buy or apply unprotected urea. Urea, unprotected urea, is very, you can lose a lot of nitrogen out of it, and it can cause health issues. It's got warnings on it basically saying, you know, it can cause asthma, people with asthma, it gets into the atmosphere and affects people's breathing difficulties and all what have you. So mate, when you're rightfully or wrongfully it's been banned, but it's a lot cheaper than this. But urea has to be put on when there is going to be a shower of rain, because it will lose a lot of its nitrogen, whereas ammonium nitrate won't lose as much. But yeah, so we've got 28.8 tonnes, so this will do us all of our first cut, and then after that we'll have to buy in another load. We normally have 2 loads, so yeah, we just put it all here just purely because we didn't have anywhere else to put it. You are supposed to keep it inside, I will admit that, but all the sheds have got cows in or machinery, so we've just put it here for now. If someone comes along and forces us to put it inside, we'll have to put it inside somewhere, but for the time being it can stay here. But yeah, I think that's all there is to say, and hopefully when it warms up, because there's no point putting it on when it's so cold like this. With it being so cold like this, it's not going to, the grass isn't going to grow, not up here. So, as we're like 900, nearly 1,000 feet above sea level, our ground varies across all of it. So, yeah, there's no point putting it on just yet. Give it a few more weeks, 2 or 3 more weeks, and then we'll be getting this spread when the weather improves, and hopefully we'll make lots of grass. There was summer on this. Bear with me a minute. Right, so my battery's died on my camera, so I've had to use my phone, so the camera's not very good on this. But just pointing this out, it says can blend. Now that is another type of fertiliser you can use, and there's just one thing I wanted to point out, because if you go back and see one of my previous videos, we were lime spreading. Because some of the field tested low, the pH in the soils tested low, so we put lime on the field. Can is a blend, it's called calcium ammonium nitrate. Calcium is what lime is made out of, and that's what corrects the soil pH. So I said in that video, you can use another product, you can use other products instead of lime to correct the soil pH. We just went with lime because we wanted it doing there and then. But we ordered this fertiliser back in January, which, I mean, in fact, the price of actually fertiliser has gone up quite a bit since then. So we got this at a really good price, and we didn't want to cancel this and then order a can blend, which would then help the soil pH problem. So we stuck with this and just bought lime to put on the fields that wanted lime putting on. But yeah, that's a different type of fertiliser again. But that is what you can use to correct the soil pH. So yeah, and obviously I imagine it's obviously more money. Well, it will be now, but that's another subject. You know, fertiliser prices, are they going to keep going up? I would say maybe. They've gone up, I think since we bought this, I think it's gone up like £60 or £80 a tonne. So obviously this has only just been delivered, but we ordered it when the price was low, so they can't cancel an order when we already agreed to have it to the set price. So it's just when they can deliver it. But dairy farming and beef farming at the minute are quite good. Well, I say quite good. The prices are good in dairy farming and beef farming, so at the minute you can afford to pay a bit more for fertiliser if you need it. We're in a situation where we've personally got plenty of silage left. There's a lot of farmers out there that actually need the fertiliser, dire situation where they need the fertiliser because they've got no silage left. But at the same time, we've had this because we don't want to be short of silage. We want to have a surplus of silage. A lot better having a surplus that you can actually sell and then go from there. But like I say, dairy farming and beef farming at the minute is doing quite well compared to like arable, which is probably not doing very well at the minute. Well, I hear it's not doing very well at the minute. which they'd be probably on the fence line if fertiliser went up, like, well, it's not going to pay to use fertiliser that's going to cost more money, so why would we want to spend more money? So it's like supply and demand. So if there's a demand there, fertiliser companies a few years ago made millions or billions of pounds of profit out of farmers, because they realised actually they can charge what they want for fertiliser, and yeah, they made record profits, and they just basically blamed it on the price of natural gas, which is one of the reasons why it's gone up recently, because natural gas prices have gone up, but they haven't gone up as much. I don't think they'll go up much more, personally, than what they have, but they just keep blaming it on different things like the war in Ukraine and Russia and various different things, which they blamed it on two or 3 years ago, which was why fertiliser prices rocketed. But yeah, they made record profits that year, and I think they just realised that actually we can make more money out of farmers than we already are. So that was why they're making all these profits, and why they try and push the price of fertiliser up all the time. But if demand drops, they have to drop it, so it's one of them, isn't it? But anyway, I'm going to leave the video at that for now. So if you've liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe below, and hopefully in a few weeks time you'll see me spreading this fertiliser, all being well, touch wood. But now, see ya, bye.